You were hungry, and you didn't eat. Not because there was no food, not because you were fasting for something sacred, but because it wasn't the right time. Because the app said so, because the plan said so, because somewhere along the way, you stopped listening to your body and started obeying a system that doesn't know your name. This is what we call health. We grew up believing health was something you could see: a flat stomach, clear skin, a number on a scale. We were taught the body is a problem to be solved, and we've been solving it ever since. With diets, with supplements, with cleanses, with routines so rigid they left no room for being human. But what if health isn't what we were told? What if the pursuit of health has made us the sickest generation alive? Not physically, something deeper. Something that lives in the way you feel when you eat something bad, in the way you apologize for your own hunger, in the way you've learned to distrust the only body you will ever have. At some point in your childhood, someone taught you that your body was wrong. Maybe it was a comment at dinner. Maybe it was a magazine left on a coffee table. Maybe it was a number on a scale that a doctor circled in red. And from that moment, you began a war that never had to be fought. The body became a project, something to fix, something to discipline, something to be ashamed of when it didn't cooperate. We don't say it out loud, but we think it when we skip the bread, when we weigh ourselves before and after eating, when we look in the mirror and feel not pride, not gratitude, but inventory. Health became aesthetic, and aesthetics became morality. The thin person was disciplined, the heavy person was lazy, the person who ate the salad was virtuous, the person who ate the cake was weak. We didn't create these stories, they were handed to us, wrapped in the language of science, packaged in the language of care. And nowhere is this more visible than in the story we tell about weight. We were taught that losing weight is always good, that the smaller body is the healthier body, that if you just tried harder, ate less, moved more, you would finally arrive at health, at worth, at a version of yourself that deserved to take up space. But no one asked the question underneath the question: healthy for whom? By whose standard? According to which industry, which era, which culture's particular obsession? The body that was considered beautiful in one century was considered diseased in the next. We didn't discover the truth about health. We just changed the aesthetic and called it science. But here is what no one told you. The body is not a project. It is not a problem. It is not a before photo waiting to become an after. The body is the only home you will ever truly live in. And we have spent decades trying to renovate a home we never learned to love. Let's talk about something simple. Hunger. The most ancient signal in the human body. A message older than language, older than medicine, and older than every diet book ever written. Hunger is the body saying, I need something. It is not a weakness. It is not a failure. It is not something to be scheduled, managed, or suppressed. But somewhere between childhood and adulthood, we learned to override it. We learned to wait. We learned to count. We learned to drink water instead. We learned to distract ourselves from one of the most fundamental experiences of being alive. And we called this discipline. We called it control. We called it health.
There are people right now who haven't eaten a meal without guilt in years, who cannot sit down to food without calculating what it costs them, who have learned to see eating not as nourishment but as negotiation. This is not health. This is a sophisticated form of suffering that we have collectively agreed to call wellness. Think about the last time you were truly hungry and you simply ate, without tracking, without justifying, without earning it first. When was that? Can you even remember?
There's a $1 trillion industry built on one idea. You are not enough as you are. It doesn't say this directly. It says it with before and after photos. It says it with supplements that promise transformation. It says it with influencers who wake at 5 a.m. and drink green things and glow in a way that feels like an accusation. The wellness industry is not evil, but it is profitable. And profit requires a problem, so it creates one. Or rather, it finds the ones already inside you, the shame, the fear, the desire to be more, and it amplifies them. And then it sells you the solution, the detox tea, the inflammation protocol, the gut microbiome reset, the cortisol supplement, the breathwork course, the cold plunge, the red light panel. Each thing in isolation might have some value, but together they form a religion. And like all religions built on fear, the moment you stop practicing, you feel like you are falling. Because the industry needs you to believe that your body, left to itself, will betray you. That without intervention, without optimization, without constant management, you will rot. But the human body spent 200,000 years surviving without any of this. It knows how to heal. It knows how to regulate. It knows when to sleep, when to eat, when to rest. If only we would stop screaming over it with our systems and our schedules and our fear. We should talk about doctors, not to blame them, but to be honest. The medical system is a system, and like all systems, it has biases, it has gaps, it has blind spots shaped like human beings who were taught in medical school to treat the chart more than the person. We were taught to trust authority completely. If the doctor said it, it was true. If the test said it, it was real. If the prescription said take 2, we took 2. And there is wisdom in expertise. There is value in medical science. This is not a rejection of medicine, but blind trust is not the same as informed trust. And there is a difference between a doctor who listens to your body and a system that processes your symptoms. How many people, particularly women, have been told their exhaustion is normal, their pain is manageable, their concerns are anxiety? How many people, particularly women, have left a doctor's office feeling smaller than when they walked in, having been given a pamphlet instead of an answer, a referral instead of time? We learned to outsource the knowledge of our own bodies to people who see us for 7 minutes and call it care. We stopped being the experts on ourselves. We became patients, passive, waiting, hopeful, trusting that someone else knows what is happening inside us better than we do, and sometimes they do. Medicine saves lives. This is true. But your lived experience of your own body is data too. Your fatigue, your gut feelings, literal and metaphorical, your sense that something is wrong, even when the blood work says you're fine. Unlearning blind medical trust doesn't mean rejecting medicine. It means becoming a collaborator in your own health. It means walking into a room and not leaving until you feel heard. It means knowing that the patient who advocates for themselves is not difficult. They are doing what everyone should be doing. There's a condition that doesn't get enough attention. It sits in the shadow of more recognized disorders, but it may be more common than any of them. It is called orthorexia, an obsessive pursuit of clean eating, not for pleasure, not for nourishment, but for purity. The person with orthorexia doesn't eat the restaurant meal because they don't know what's in it. They don't attend the birthday dinner because the cake has refined sugar. They spend hours researching ingredients, hours meal prepping in controlled conditions, hours feeling superior when they succeed and devastated when they slip. And here is the cruelty of it. The world tells them they're healthy. People compliment their discipline. Their Instagram gets followers. Their choices get validated. But inside, food has become a source of terror. Eating has become a moral act. And the body they are so carefully protecting is slowly starving, not just for calories, but for ease, for pleasure, for the uncomplicated joy of eating something simply because it tastes good. We live in a culture that cannot distinguish between health and control, between nourishment and punishment, between care and obsession. And so the obsession gets rewarded, and the suffering stays invisible. Here is a radical idea. Your body is not stupid. It has been fine-tuning itself for every year of your life. It has healed wounds you forgot you had. It has fought infections you never knew were there. It regulates your temperature. It balances your chemistry. It sends you signals constantly. Thirst, hunger, fatigue, pain, a constant stream of information that we have learned to filter out. When you are tired and you push through, that is not strength. That is a trained refusal to listen. When you are hungry and you wait, that is not discipline. That is a learned distrust of your own signals. When you eat something and feel guilt, that guilt is not wisdom. It is a story told to you by a culture that profits from your shame. What would it mean to listen? Not to an app, not to a protocol, not to an influencer or a study or a trend, but to the actual, physical, present sensation of being alive in this body. To eat when you are hungry, to rest when you are tired, to move because it feels good, rather than because you have to earn your existence. This sounds simple. It is not, because everything in our world is designed to pull you away from that listening. But it is possible, and it begins with a small, radical act, believing that your body is already trying to help you. We unlearn the idea that health is visible, that you can look at a body and know if it is healthy, that the thin person is well, that the heavy person is sick, that discipline looks like restriction, that care looks like control. We unlearn the morality of food. There is no clean food and dirty food. There is food, and there is hunger, and there is the profound ancient act of meeting one with the other. We unlearn the outsourcing of self-knowledge. You are allowed to know your own body. You are allowed to have opinions about what is happening inside you. You are allowed to ask questions and expect real answers. And when you don't get them, you are allowed to keep asking. We unlearn the performance of wellness. Health is not something you display. It is not a morning routine posted online. It is not a supplement shelf or a fitness tracker. It is the quiet, unglamorous, daily act of treating yourself like someone worth caring for. We unlearn the war against the body, because the war was never yours to fight. It was given to you by magazines and mirrors and markets that needed you to feel insufficient. You were not born ashamed of your hunger. You were not born afraid of your body. You learned those things.
and what was learned can be unlearned.
Maybe health is simpler than we were told. Maybe it lives not in the optimization, but in the ordinary, in the meal eaten slowly, in the sleep taken without guilt, in the body moved for joy rather than punishment, in the hunger met with food instead of negotiation. Maybe the healthiest thing you can do is stop trying so hard to be healthy and start trying to be present in this body, right now, as it is, not as it could be, not as it should be, but as it is. The body you are in has carried you through every hard thing, every loss, every night you didn't think you'd make it through, every morning that came anyway. It deserves something simple, not a protocol, not a plan, not a before photo. It deserves what it has always deserved, to be listened to. Think, unlearn. Dark truths, quiet light.